Yeah, g'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Luke's Fishin Mission. My last video when I was offshore the shipping channel catching big nannygai, the action was hectic. We got 23, 24 fish, then the sharks moved in, we lost quite a few rigs. I got a few questions and comments about that actually. People asking what rig were you using. I didn't actually show how to tie that rig. The action was pretty fast and furious and I sort of focused on the fishing, but here's the rig I use. It's basically a Paternoster rig where you have two hooks. You can actually have one if you want, but I like to use two, and then a sinker on the bottom, big 12-ounce snapper lead. Of course, it depends where you're fishing. If you're fishing in the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park, you got yellow zones, you're only allowed one hook. You can still use the same rig, Paternoster rig, with one hook or two. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna give you the quickest and easiest way to do that. There are probably multiple ways to do it, but I'm going to show you the way I choose to do it, nice and easy. So guys, the Paternoster rig, essentially like I said, two hooks, sinker on the bottom. It's the most snag resistant way when you're fishing in the reefs and that gnarly country offshore to have your sinker on the bottom. That way your hooks aren't snagging up every 5 minutes. You may lose the occasional lead, but you just tie another one on. So let me start now by tying on the swivel first and foremost to my braid, and then I'll go on to the rig. Okay, so I'm going to start with tying my braid to my swivel. This knot is very simple. I'm not even sure the name of this knot, but I'll just show you how to tie it. So basically grab your tag end, go through the eye of your swivel, pull it through. Give yourself maybe 5-6 inches there of play. So it's, you got plenty of room to move and work with. You go over the top of your main line, come back around underneath. Pull it back to where your thumb and forefinger are and crimp it down. And now you grab your tag end and you go in and out of this loop 3 or 4 times. So that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. That's 4. Okay, so grab that end of the tag end, pull it tight. You can see it all bind down. And just pull it firmly, and that will snip up nice and snug up against your swivel. I've never had one of these ever slip, break, or give way. It's a pretty fantastic knot. Just snip your tag end. Just leave it like that. So now I'm going to start with the actual Paternoster rig. So basically just do a half blood knot, normal fisherman's knot. So in the swivel, around 3 or 4 times. I'm using 60-pound leader today. I like to use 60 to 80 pound when I'm offshore. And obviously back through the loop. Pull it tight, snug it down. Okay, so that's the start of our Paternoster rig now. So I've tied my half blood knot to my swivel, and now I'm working on my leader. So I need to do my first dropper. So I come down about maybe 25, 30 centimeters. Thumb and forefinger. Grab your leader, and I'm making my first dropper now. You want to go out about 20, 25 centimeters once again with your first loop. Thumb and forefinger, crimp that. You get your loop end. And we're doing a figure 8 around everything, around the top, back through. Nice and simple. Essentially, we've made one runner, one dropper, one loop. So now you just get one of your hooks. I like to use the Gamakatsu 8.0 octopus because the eye is nice and big here. It's nice and easy for that loop of doubled line to go through it. So go in the top, out and around, pull it back up snug. That's your first dropper. Okay, that's not breaking. So I've now done one dropper. I want to do my second dropper for my second hook. So come down a little bit lower than where that hook's sitting, and we do that again. We repeat that same process for our dropper. Make a loop, thumb and forefinger, figure 8 around everything, back through. Now, like I said, this is the quickest and easiest way to do a Paternoster rig. There are other ways, but this is the way I choose to do it. It's quick, it's easy, and it's effective. I have no dramas with this. So once again, make that little double over, pinch it to go through the eye of your hook, around the bottom and back up to the top. So guys, essentially we've tied our mono dropper to our swivel. We've come down a little bit. We've made one dropper to our first hook. We've come down a little bit past the length of where this hook will sit down in the water column. We've done that process again and made a second dropper with our second hook. Like I said, you can choose to just run the one hook and one dropper if you're fishing a yellow zone where you can only use one hook, but fishing in a blue zone you can use two. Then you've got to come down for your sinker. Come down a couple of feet. So this is going to be sitting, the sinker's going to be on the bottom and your hooks are going to be just up above the bottom of the ocean, the bottom of the sea floor, just above all the reef and gnarly country where the fish are going to be. So give yourself a little bit of slack. Cut that. Cut your leader. And then basically you just fold it over and you're just doing a granny knot with a loop. You just make a loop, get your sinker through there just like we did with our hooks, around the bottom and back up. Okay guys, what we have now is our complete Paternoster rig. Our rig here is only about 1 metre, 1.2 metres. I don't like it to have it too long because if you've got a fish on here and you're grabbing the leader to bring it into the boat, I don't like your big snapper lead hanging too low and banging into the side of your boat, into your gear, into your electric motor or your sounder, anything like that. So I like to keep it nice and short so I can grab the leader, hoik the fish in, and that sinker clears everything.